Hello everyone, I welcome you all on this YouTube channel UPSC Logy. This is me Rahul and today we are going to cover the Indian Express dated 4th of January 2022 for your public administration optional, and let's get started without wasting a bit of time. So the important article that you need to read for your public administration is given on the editorial page. So here you can see the article Democracy Challenge. So here basically the article is talking about the three democratic ways of subverting the democracy. So basically this is the article that you can use when you are writing the ideas negative to the democracy. Like for example, what is happening in the world or for that matter in India is the democratic backsliding. What is happening, if you just try to understand the articles that are coming up in the newspaper, the different reports that are coming up. For example, in the previous articles of the Pubedpedia Current Affair magazine, we have covered the things like elected autocracy. Elected autocracy is something that was there. Okay, so elected government is there, but that is autocratic. So different reports have highlighted this thing, that India has the elected autocracy, or for that matter other countries have elected autocracy. They have the democracy, there are elections, but this is the kind of elected autocracy. Okay, so I'm not saying this thing, there were reports like that. Okay, apart from elected autocracy, there are things like democratic backsliding. In the previous month itself we have covered this thing, what is the democratic backsliding. All these democratic backsliding, all the things like this elected autocracy, you can link all of them with the political culture, because political culture is nothing but the things that are going on between the citizen and the state, the relation, the things that are going to define the relation between citizen and state, the kind of voting behavior of the people in the election. All these things are going to determine the political culture. Okay, so this is the kind of political culture that we are having, that we are witnessing, not only in India but across the globe. For example, here at the last you will get that democratic decay is happening, whether it is USA, Russia, or for that matter from you can say Turkey to Thailand and something like that. So you can mention them. Okay, so here let's try to understand that in India the taming of democracy is marked by three melites. So the article is talking about three important democratic ways of subverting democracy. Okay, these are the things given in the article. First one is the electoral majorities are understood to have elected a superhero with unbounded wisdom. So this is something that we are witnessing. So you can link it with the Weber's authority, charismatic authority. So we have the legal rational authority on paper, but in reality what is happening, that these kind of things are happening. You have to use the word cautiously when you are criticizing like this. So just try to understand this thing, that you can link it with the Weber, but it is not the pure example, because ultimately we have the legal rational authority, we have the constitution as the supreme authority. Constitutional supremacy is there, so that is there obviously, but while critically analyzing, you can also mention this thing, that in a way, in a virtual way, in a effective way, or for that matter in some sense, in indirect sense, we are basically, this is the problem. Okay, we are the regimes like regimeness. This is also given in this article only, that government across the globe, they are become more of a regime. So this regimeness needs to be counted, and here this point is talking about the charisma, like elected, whenever there is electoral majority, that majority is considered as the, you can say, the kind of superhero. Let's say a particular individual is being elected as the prime minister, president, etc. So they treat that like they have this like king can do no wrong. So even Kautilya administration, Kautilya Arthashastra, that was talking about all those things, like king can do no wrong. So this is the kind of, you can say, theory that we are witnessing over here. This is the first problem, like elected, how democracy is backsliding. This is the first thing. Okay, first democratic way of subverting democracy, like elected majority is considered as a tool to choose the superhero. Okay, तो ऐसा लगता है कि, like for example, here example is also given, you need to avoid the complete negative criticism of prime minister or something like that, because it is going to create the trouble in exam. So just try to be rational while criticizing also. Okay, the second thing is electoral majority are seen unabashedly as flowing from and reflecting the majority of one community. Again, here just try to link it with the community. So here elected majority is linked with individuals. So just imagine a individual. Okay, focus is on, like, majority is linked with individual. Here majority is linked with the religion. Ultimately these are the problems. So religion or a particular community, so that should not be there. We can't link the majority with these aspects. We cannot link it with the particular individual, otherwise it will create a kind of charismatic authority, or you can say Kautil, the constitutional king of Kautil. Okay, so that kind of thing will create will be a problematic thing. And when it comes to this idea, this is again going to create the problem, because ultimately we have the diversity, and diversity can only be sustained by the idea of, you can say, by the idea of the kind of, you can say, the support of all the religion, all the community, secularism, or all the tolerance. Okay, so these are the things that are required to sustain a diverse country, and that's why we need these things. Okay, so elected majority should not be considered like it is coming from a particular religion, particular community, or something like that. And if we are doing that, if we are doing all these things, it is again against the idea of democracy, because democracy is nothing but an idea of promotion of, you can say, ballot. Ballot is replacing the bullet. Okay, so that ballot paper is more important than the bullet. Information is oxygen in democracy. So some days back in the last 1 year, we have also covered the articles like information autocracy, or you can say information, like government was hiding the information. So information asymmetry is something that was there in the articles as well. Like earlier government was hiding some sort of information, like that unemployment data, 6.1% unemployment rate, that was released very, you can say, late by the government, and some sort of issues with respect to the National Statistics Commission was also going on. So we have covered that thing under the heading of information autocracy. So this is how you need to link all the things: elected autocracy, information autocracy, democratic backsliding. Here we are seeing the different ways, like these two things we have covered. Apart from that, the third way of subverting the third democratic way of subverting the democracy is this thing, that here people agency, and there is a kind of robbed people's agency from the democracy. So people are, you can say, because of the oversized image of the leader, claim of wisdom by elected autocracy, all these things. Elected autocracy is something that I told you earlier as well. So because of all these things, people are sidelined, there is a manipulation of democracy, have almost successfully robbed people agency. So people's agency from democracy is being robbed. This is the third thing. So just try to link all these things with the leader, with the religion. So article is, you can just understand this article, you can just feel this article, that okay, in the context of India, you can just imagine that okay, what the article is talking about, okay, indirectly. Okay, on a lighter note, just try to understand like this. Apart from that, if you read, you will be able to get some sort of jargons for your answer writing, etc. For example, the article is also talking about this thing, like other like in state we have legislature, executive, judiciary. So other state factors, what they are doing. So bureaucracy is caved in investigating agencies are like legal mafia. Judiciary is becoming either they are sermonizing priest at the best or ideological partner of the executive at worst. So here whenever you get some article, like you have to critically analyze, you have to criticize, or for that matter you have to critically analyze the different institutions. So then you can say all these things, that all these things are happening. Again, this is something that is the political culture. They are going to frame the political culture, because ultimately political culture is all about the relation between state and society, and these are nothing but the component of state, because the state is not only about the politics. State consists of legislature, executive, judiciary. Executive consists of bureaucracy, etc. So that's why judiciary is, at best they are sermonizing priest. So sermonizing priest, either they will go deep into the you can say all the aspect, or for at worst they will become the ideological partner of executive. Sermonizing priest, sometimes they go into the religious matter, they also become the priest. Judicial papism is there, okay, like Sabrimala judgment, etc. So while criticizing all those things, you can also mention these things. Okay, I hope you're getting. So all these things, all just try to read some other aspect. The crux is this, that this article is talking about 3 democratic ways of subverting democracy, and this is how the things are. I hope you are getting all the 3 ways. Just try to link with the individual. Democracy, majority is linked with the individual, majority is linked with the particular community, and ultimately there is a manipulation, media, etc., all those things. So this is how you need to develop that understanding, that okay, this all is happening, and this is all about this article. Apart from that, I was also reading the Hindu newspaper of today, and in that I have seen this article, aiding in governance. So this is the newspaper of today, that is 4th of January 2022. So this article is talking about what? This article is saying that how the synergy between NGO, government and the corporate is the holy grail of development. So again, in your development administration, civil society organization, self-help group, all these things are given. So this article is saying that why NGOs are important. Okay, so yesterday also we have covered that why NGOs are important. They can also play an important role in the border security, in preventing cattle smuggling and other smuggling. Even BSF was using it. We have covered in the yesterday's analysis. If you have not watched, please do watch the previous video. Also, some days back, NSA was talking about the 4th generation warfare, in criticism of civil societies and NGOs. Missionary of charity is also in news, and here this article is telling that how they are, civil society NGOs are important. So basically what you need to understand, that how corporates are important. Corporate are important because there is a formula called CSR funding, corporate social responsibility, and that's how they are important. Why government is important? Because obviously government is important, it is playing an important role. NGOs, so you have to understand that both government and corporate, they can't take risk. So this is what you need to understand, that they can't take risk. Why government cannot take risk? Because there are 4 C's over them. For example, courts are there, CBI is there, CVC is there. Okay, so all these citizens are also there, like they can file the RTI, etc. So that is, over accountability creates problem, because they are very accountable. They have to if there is a, you can say, they are risk aversive. They will try to avoid the risk, because otherwise if they face problem, they might face problem in their career as well. Like they will face the problem in their personal promotions, etc. So there is a kind of risk avoiding tendency in the bureaucracy. Apart from risk avoiding apart from this reason of risk avoidance, there is another reason. For example, bureaucratic red tapeism, etc. All the criticism of bureaucracy you can understand. Apart from that, the change of goalpost, the frequent change of goalpost by the political bosses. This is also the thing. Because of that thing, bureaucracy can't take risk. So because of all these things, bureaucracy can't take risk, government can't take risk. So in those areas, NGOs become important. These non-state actors, these civil society organization becomes important, because they can take the risk. They can they can take the risk, and they can support the government. For example, let's just try to understand that if you have read the general studies paper for ethics case study for your UPSC CSE, in most of the case study, wherever you are, wherever it is given that you are a district magistrate or you are an administrative officer, etc., you have to do some sort of you have to implement some policy or something like that. In all those cases, what happened, that one of the key thing that you can do, you can take the help of civil society organization, isn't it? If you have watched, you can relate. If you studied about case studies, etc., you can relate what I am saying, what I am trying to say. So if you are not aware about these things, you can just understand that if you are a DC, you have to take the support of civil society, because you have to focus on a lot many things, like you have to implement the policies, you have to focus on governance, and if there is a problem like koi child labor ho raha hai, if there is a problem of you can say POCSO Act is there, or for that matter any other social issue is going on, so you will take the help of civil societies of that sector. Why? Because you have to focus on other things, law and order, bahut sare hazaron kaam hai, so that's why you will take the help of CSO or NGOs, etc. Here also we are witnessing the same thing. Here also writer is trying to say the same thing, that they becomes important because they can take the risk, and they have the high penetrating power in the society. They can there is a high penetration, and they can implement the policy. So this is how they plays an important role in the implementation of the policy and implementation of public policy. The role of NGOs in implementation of public policy, there are models of policy implementation in your public policy chapter, and those models like action by actor model, etc., the policy action model, you can link them. They are nothing but deal with the participation of non-state actors in the policy implementation. So that angle also you can link with this news article. I hope you are getting this news article. This is it for the day. Thank you so much and have a nice day. Thank you so much.